Hello again, and welcome to Show and Tell. MauveLilac, who I've named Lilac for short, is ready to go to her forever home. But I thought you might like a look. She's quite the girl, and quite full of goodies. Let's begin with the front cover. She has a trifold here with a journaling spot and one here. And as you can tell, it is almost impossible for me to describe how much fun I had making this envelope folder. It was just heavenly. So we have that on the right side. In the center, we have the card that I made. There's a journal. There's plenty of room to journal on the back. And here, I have added some lilac silk flowers that I pulled off a spray that I purchased on sale. Here is my stitchery, and I think the last time we visited together, I had not added these purple sequins, and I put matching French knots in the centers of them, just because it needed a little bit of pizzazz. It was not balanced until I added that little bit of darkness. At the bottom, I added a piece of Oolala Crafts lovely ribbon. Sorry, not ribbon, but fabric that has been stamped. And this is the piece of stitchery that I did as a demonstration on the last video, or the video before last. And I thought that might be nice as a finishing bit at the bottom of this tag. And then, if you will remember, this is a belly band, so I made this writing spot to go under that, and added a 3 pieces of seam binding that just absolutely went perfectly with this the motif of mauve and lilac. And I used, on this one, I used the digital that I've made that I'm going to be sharing shortly on my Etsy. And then that fits in under here. And if it goes all the way in, it comes right up to that sewing line on this ruffle. And then this tag fits in a treat in this corner pocket. And I'm going to leave this up a little bit higher. There we go. I want that ribbon to show. And then over here, under this trifold, I've made a journaling spot here with a very, I just love this stamp. And this is part of that, of my digi collection, of my collectible and my hoard of hankies. So that goes in under here. So let us have another quick look at the front before we go delving into the goodies inside this folder. And this, as you can see, this folder opens to quite a bit, and therefore it can hold quite a few fun items. So let's take out the inclusions. Here and here. Make sure that that's fine. Yes, it is. Well, let's look at this one first, because I worked on this one with you, and I decided to use these gold clips because there is just a touch of gold on the front of the envelope. So I have this closed over with a doily, and inside of here I have this, and this. I'm going to be remembering the fun that I had doing all of these bits and parts. I added the stamps, I added a little bit of the cheesecloth and a piece of scrapping paper and a fussy cut bit of greenery, and all of these stamps for postage. And if you will remember, this is a sheaf of paper that I shared on YouTube, and all of these pieces of paper are cut and ready to go, and ready and waiting. And this wrapping band is a piece of my original art that I did on craft paper and used as covers for journals, one of which is still for sale in my Etsy. So here we have that, and this tucked down in this envelope. And the front of this envelope is a piece of this lovely parchment vellum that is covering the stenciling that I did on the white bag. And this has room for an addition. When Susan receives this, she can add some things of her own in here. And over on the back, we have some Edith Holden and some of my birdies and fussy cut flower. And this is a piece of MauveLilac Crafts fabric, and some of the leftover needlepoint canvas from the tag in the front, and then I personalized this for Susan. So there we have this envelope. Oops, goodness gracious. Absolutely cannot forget that. And then I have this glassine bag to contain two other pieces that I made for journaling. And in here, a large writing area. And this design is another one of my hanky collection. And so that is the first thing. And then the second one is this envelope that I had made from a page from my flower book. And then I did some collaging and added this piece of my very favorite lace. I stamped the postage on the front, and on the back I have another cluster of my hand-dyed paper, some French print, a piece of the of my digi of hankies, and this color goes so well with the background color here. This was a piece of lace, and here a stamp on the back. So in this baggie We have two items that can be used with this or other projects, or just left in the envelope. It is just so wonderful the amount of goodies that you can pack into these envelope folders. And last but not least, I have made a journal, and I used a piece of the book page to close this, and I used a plastic bag that I've had, without exaggeration, I've had a group of these probably since I was, before I retired teaching, and but I'm talking about at least 20 plus years. So here is the journal that I made to add to this envelope folder, tied with a piece of sari. And this journal is made with wallpaper border, and I left it alone because I wanted it to play up the colors of in our motif for this folder. And I added 3 different pieces of my lace, and I finally broke down and decided to use this shelf edging, and it worked a treat here because I was able to fold the sides that would have gone up on the shelf. This part would fall down and you would see that, but this bit of backing was about that wide, and I was able to use that to cover the spine. And in here I have a piece of Mrs. Coggs, Ladies in White, and a note for Susan, which features, of course, our colors for the envelope. Some journaling spots. I didn't do too much in here because this is for Susan to use and play with. And in the back, 2 beautiful children, and these are printed on photo paper, regular photo paper. And here is another piece that would provide a writing spot. And on each of the pages in the first half, I included a stamp in my Royal Purple by Stazon. So each of these pages has been stamped, and this looks so nice on the vellum, the coffee dyed paper, and on this parchment. I, of course, didn't do it here on the color book page. It looks very nice on my handmade Touted Angels Glimmer Mist paper. And here in the center, I have used my cotton thread and added 2 charms. So this has been unimaginable fun, and now I am so happy that she's ready to go to her forever home. And I'm going to be using some of the things that I've learned in the making, because the point of our art is always to expand our knowledge and try new things. And I certainly did do that in Susan's envelope folder. And this is going to go in here so that it can stay nice and clean and safe inside of the envelope and on its journey. And I could not resist using this as a closure. And this pink gold is so pretty with that lilac shade. So you have this and this and this on the inside. And here, the outside. And I do hope that you will wish Susan great enjoyment the way I do. She certainly should have plenty of fun with this, because that's the point of the whole exercise. And I particularly had fun getting back to doing a little bit of stitchery. And if you have enjoyed this show and tell, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and I would appreciate your subscribing to my channel. Bye now.